you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Weekend Recap on the Courtside Financial Podcast, a segment where we bring you a compilation of everything that went down throughout the week from a stories perspective. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any content that's coming in the future. So picture this, you're eagerly awaiting the brand new Apple Watch Ultra, which is supposed to have a micro LED screen, putting it at the top of the list when it comes to smartwatch technology. But hold your horses, folks. Reports have just dropped that the Apple Watch Ultra has been another canceled project from Apple. Well, I won't say canceled, I'll say Apple has paused this project for the unforeseeable future. According to those in the know, including reliable Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple's grappling with some supply chain nightmare. It's like ordering a pizza for the party, but the delivery guy is lost in the Bermuda Triangle. That level of chaos. Now here's where it gets juicy. Ming-Chi Kuo spilled the beans, revealing that Apple may not just be hitting pause, but they may actually be hitting stop. That's right, folks, the micro LED dreams have been shattered into a million pixels. The reason? Well, it turns out this fancy new tech was burning holes in Apple's cash-rich pockets, faster than a hot knife could cut through butter. Imagine you're Apple and you've got this big, cool new toy that you want to play with, but every time you do, it starts to cost you an arm and a leg. That's the reality they face with micro LED. So what do? You toss it out the window. But hold on to your seats, folks, because the drama doesn't end there. Apple's decision to X the Apple Watch Ultra isn't just affecting us tech enthusiasts, it's sending shockwaves throughout Cupertino. There are reports flooding in that Apple even had to say goodbye to some of its own with reports of layoffs. These layoffs are hitting the development team like a ton of bricks. Can you imagine being a part of that team, pouring your heart and soul into a project, only to be shown the door? It's like getting dumped on Valentine's Day. And what does this mean for Apple's grand ambitions? Well, let's just say they're taking a hit harder than a boxer facing Mike Tyson in his prime. With the micro LED dream shattered, Apple's left scrambling to find its next big thing. Almost like a lost puppy searching for its owner in a sea of strangers. But Apple's never been one to stay down for long. After all, this is the company that brought us the iPhone, the MacBook, and the iPad. Technological marvels that change the game each in their own regard. So who knows, maybe this setback is just a speed bump on their road to the next breakthrough. So let's kick things off with Kanye's concert conundrum. According to reports from thesun.com, Kanye's search for venues in Europe, Asia, and Australia have all hit a brick wall. The controversy surrounding Ye seems to be functioning as kryptonite at this time. Venues are reluctant to host his shows faster than you can say Yeezy. Now, Kanye is obviously no stranger to controversy, but it seems like his recent antics have been raising more than usual eyebrows. Things like his social media posts have outlawed him from concert venues. It's a tough break for the artist formerly known as Yeezus, but hey, maybe he can find solace in those dollar signs from his recent album Vultures 1. And speaking of dollar signs, Kanye's been raking it in with his recent album. According to reports, he's pulled in around $13 million in just 1 month. That's enough to make Elon Musk even do a double take. What's impressive here isn't just the numbers, it's Kanye's business savvy. By going independent and cutting out the middleman, he's maximizing profits like a true mogul. Plus those lightning fast listening parties, pure genius. It's the Kanye way of doing business. Bold, innovative, and undeniably lucrative. But wait, folks, it's not all champagne and caviar for Mr. West. The Donna Summer estate is throwing some legal shade his way, alleging unauthorized sampling of Disco Queen's hit I Feel Love on his latest album. Now, sampling disputes in the music industry are as common as Ye interrupting award shows, but this one's got some extra spice. The estate claims that Ye tried to pull a fast one by sampling re-recorded parts of the song. We don't know if it's true, but sneaky Kanye, sneaky. It looks like the Donna Summers estate is not backing down, And this legal showdown could get messier than a Kardashian family feud. And there you have it, folks. Kanye's business roller coaster has no signs of slowing down with all the controversy surrounding him. So what's the buzz, you ask? Well, it seems like Bill Gates has been stirring up the AI cauldron again. And this time with a fresh brew of predictions for this super hot topic. Now let's unpack his prophecy, shall we? Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft and longtime AI advocate, has been singing the AI anthem for quite some time. But his recent statements have us all ears. Gates predicts that AI isn't just going to revolutionize sectors like education and healthcare, but actually flip them on their heads. He thinks it'll shake out their pockets and give them a good tech makeover. In a recent interview while visiting India, Gates emphasized the potential of AI in education, suggesting that it could lighten a workload for teachers and provide substantial support for students. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows in Gates' AI utopia. He raises a valid concern that AI is evolving at a pace that's faster than a cheetah on roller skates. And let's be real, folks, that's pretty darn fast. Gates isn't just spouting off predictions all willy-nilly. He's got a track record. Remember when he said AI chatbots would help kids learn to read and write in a year and a half? Well, he wasn't just whistling Dixie. He's been on point with his AI crystal ball gazing. And let's talk about Gates' grand declaration. 2024 is the year of AI technology. That's right, folks, move over your New Year's resolutions. We're ringing in the era of artificial intelligence this year. Gates is betting big this year, hoping that developments this year will lay the groundwork for a solid foundation for AI to thrive in the future. In essence, he thinks that these developments could make the roaring 20s look like child's play. But hold on to your hats, here comes the juicy part. Gates is worried. Yes, you heard that right. The man who helped usher in the digital age with the snap of his fingers is worried that AI might be progressing a little too fast. It's like a runaway train with no brakes, and Bill Gates is the conductor, desperately trying to keep us on the tracks. So what's my take on all this AI hoopla? Well, folks, buckle up because I'm about to lay down some truth bombs. Artificial intelligence is the wave of the future, there's no denying that. But like any tool, it comes with its own set of risks and challenges. We've got to approach AI with caution like a wary cat eyeing a mousetrap. It's not enough just to ride the wave of progress, but we've actually got to steer the ship. So the latest buzz, well, it's not just the hum of electric vehicles, it's the Biden administration hitting the throttle on investigations into Chinese EVs. Now, according to a China Daily opinion editorial, fears of lack of competitiveness are driving this scare story, not just national security concerns. But hey, let's explore both sides objectively, shall we? So the Biden administration is giving Chinese electric vehicles the once-over, citing national security as the main concern. But hold your horses, folks. Is it really about preventing cyber espionage, or is it about protecting the home team? Commerce Secretary Gianna Raimondo is sounding the alarm bells, painting a picture of millions of Chinese cars hitting US streets, gobbling up data like a Pac-Man, and shipping it straight to Beijing. Talk about a cybersecurity nightmare, right? But here's the plot twist. The China Daily suggests there's another layer to this narrative. It's not just about Uncle Sam's cybersecurity jitters. It's about keeping the competition at bay. The fear, Chinese EVs flooding the market, and driving US automakers out of business. Now I have to confess, my dear listeners, and you already know this if you watch my channel, it's not a secret, but I'm not just a neutral observer in this game. Nope, I'm a proud investor in NIO. So let's just call it what it is. I might be a tad bit biased here. The real MVPs in this game, well, it's not the policymakers in Washington or the EV companies in Beijing. Nope, it's the consumers caught in the crossfire of this electric showdown. And let's not forget about the brave folks calling out for trade protectionism on the sidelines. That was sarcasm. But hey, before we get carried away with the fear-mongering, let's pump the brakes for a reality check. After all, as the China Daily suggests, maybe we need to count how many Teslas are zipping around Chinese streets before pointing fingers. So what's the verdict, folks? Is this EV scare story really about safeguarding national security? When you think about Chinese cars are in so many different countries already? Or is it just another play in the game of global economics? One thing's for sure, the plot is thickening faster than a lithium-ion battery charging. That's a wrap for this installment of the Courtside Financial Podcast. really insightful. I actually learned some things doing research for this, so I hope you took away things from it too. Hopefully it was educational, informative, at the very least entertaining. And before we get started, I know we're talking about stocks and finances and all that juicy stuff, but I just want to make it known that nothing that I'm saying today constitutes financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm simply sharing this information for educational and entertainment purposes. It's up to you to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Now, with that out of the way, let's zoom into the electrifying world of NIO. So what's the scoop according to financial gurus over at Deutsche Bank? NIO's gearing up to reveal its Q4 2023 earnings reports, and all eyes are on the gross margin. But hold on to your charging cables because there's a twist. Analysts are predicting a bumpy road ahead, with NIO's management likely steering us through some choppy waters, especially with a potentially weak first quarter delivery forecast. Now, what's on the menu for NIO's financial feast? Well, according to the brilliant minds at Deutsche Bank, it's all about the gross margin. Picture this, NIO delivered a whopping 50,045 vehicles in Q4 2023, exceeding expectations like a boss. But hey, despite that, they're gearing up for a sequential dip, down about 9.72% from the previous quarter. And what about those numbers? Well, our pals at Deutsche Bank are estimating revenue to hit 16.9 billion RMB. But hey, don't be surprised if it's slightly different. After all, this is just their educated guess. And remember NIO Day 2023? Good times. That's where they dropped the mic with the unveiling of their ET9 executive flagship sedan. But let's not forget the not so fun part, layoffs. Yep, NIO trimmed about 10% of its workforce at this time. And this was done strictly to boost efficiency. So let's see how that played out. So fasten up your seatbelts, folks, because here comes the kicker. For Q1 2024, NIO might be hitting the brakes, with deliveries expected to take a nosedive to around 20,000 units. Not a pretty sight, but why is that? Well, according to the crystal ball of Deutsche Bank, NIO is shifting gears with its new models, which means they're clearing out older inventory, so it should be expected, I guess. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. NIO's still in the race. Now let's talk about the numbers from Zacks Investment Research. Analysts are predicting NIO to post earnings per share of negative 51 cents, holding steady from the previous year, and they're expecting a slight dip in revenue to 2.29 billion. But don't hit the panic button yet, folks. Remember that these are just educated guesses. And speaking of educated guesses, Zacks has got a little something called the Zacks Ring, a nifty model that throws out actionable measures. And guess what? NIO's shredding its stuff with a Zacks rank of 2, which is a buy rating. Not too shabby. So what's the verdict, folks? If the numbers are anything to go by, NIO might be itching for a comeback. So let's kick things off with a bang, shall we? Apple, the tech behemoth we all know and love, has emerged victorious in a battle of David and Goliath proportions. The battleground? None other than the infamous Pegasus spyware, labeled deep as the digital boogeyman by some, lurking deep within the shadows of our smartphones. Pegasus, my friends, is not your everyday spyware. This is some next level James Bond villain type of stuff.
Right then. Let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Silver.
It's a zero-click vulnerability attack that can turn your entire smartphone into a digital surveillance device. Well, where did this diabolical software come? Enter stage left, the NSO group. These guys are the masterminds behind Pegasus, and they're claiming that they're using the software to fight off the bad guys. That's criminals, terrorists, anyone that fits into that type of category. But let's be real now. When your software ends up targeting high-profile people, from corporate executives to journalists to politicians, it's hard to argue that you're the Robin Hood of the digital age. Now let's talk lawsuits, because who doesn't like a good legal showdown? Apple stepped into the ring, accusing NSO of targeting their users with their Pegasus software. And let me tell you folks, Apple wasn't playing around. They slapped NSO with a lawsuit so heavy that it can make even the most seasoned lawyer break a sweat. But NSO, being the crafty ones they are, tried to pull a fast one, insisting that the trial take place on their home turf in Israel. Nice try, NSO, but you can't outsmart Apple. The judge ruled in favor of the tech giant. They sent NSO back to the drawing board, leaving them scrambling for a plan B. But wait, there's more. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, decided to throw their hat in the legal ring as well. They went toe-to-toe with NSO over snooping antics on their app, WhatsApp. And let's just say it wasn't pretty for NSO. The court ruled in Meta's favor, ordering NSO to cough up the source code for Pegasus to WhatsApp quicker than you can say I object. Now, what does all this legal wrangling mean for us everyday smartphone users? Well, my friends, it means that there's hope on the horizon. With access to Pegasus source codes, tech giants like Facebook, or I should say Meta, and Apple can begin developing something to combat this digital menace. But before we start celebrating too soon, let's not forget the specter of AI. With advancements in technology happening quicker than you can say, Alexa, play some spy-themed music, we could find ourselves facing a whole new breed of surveillance attacks. So what's the takeaway from all this? Well, it's simple. You need to stay vigilant, my friends. We need to hold tech companies accountable for how they handle our data, and we need to demand better safeguards against digital espionage. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast, where we talk about business and technology. Sometimes we talk about these things mutually exclusive, and today we're going to be talking about business. We're going to be talking about the business phenomenon known as Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, self-made billionaire, singer, songwriter, is making waves with her Eras tour. She's recently graced the stages of Melbourne and Sydney, Australia, boosting the local economies in the process. Now let's break down the numbers, folks. It's estimated that Taylor Swift added estimated 300 million to the Australian economy. That's nearly 200 million US dollars, and that's not all. Businesses in both cities saw a surge in sales, from hotel reservations to merchandise vendors. But some may wonder, Obi, how does a concert translate into economic impact? Well, my friends, it's what we like to call the Taylor effect. Her presence alone creates a ripple effect that ignites a spending frenzy and benefits an entire economy. And this isn't just a one-time thing, folks. The Eras Tour has been shattering records since it started, with ticket sales soaring to unprecedented heights. It's projected to be the highest grossing tour of all time by the time it wraps up this year. So what's the bottom line here? It's simple. In today's entertainment industry, it's not all about the music. It's about the experience and economic impact that it brings. Taylor Swift has not only mastered the art of entertaining millions, but also driving economic impact and growth wherever she goes. In today's episode, we've got a juicy story fresh off the press about NIO and Tesla. Picture this, you're in the market for a sleek, eco-friendly ride. Maybe you've had your eye on a certain Tesla Model Y, but hold your horsepower, folks. NIO's William Li is spicing things up with a tantalizing offer, so let's break it down. According to reports, NIO's sub-brand, codenamed Alps, is gearing up to take on Tesla's Model Y. Now that's like watching two heavyweight champions step into the ring, isn't it? Li is throwing down the gauntlet all the way here, suggesting that Model Y prospective buyers hit the brakes on that and wait for the Alps brand to release what it has coming. But what makes Alps' offering worth the wait? We'll strap in because Li's got some convincing points. Alps' first model promises a battery swapping feature, faster charging, and a bigger screen. Sounds like they're not pulling any punches, aiming to deliver an electric experience. Now let's talk prices though, cost effectiveness. The Model Y obviously commands a pretty penny in China, with prices ranging from 258,900 to 363,900 RMB. But Alps' first model, codenamed Dom, is gearing up for an October debut, with whispers of it being the most cost-effective while packing a punch with NIO's cutting-edge technology. But hold on to your seats, folks, because Alps isn't stopping there, with William Li teasing us about Alps' second model, suggesting it's going to be a larger SUV. The excitement just keeps coming. Now, what strategy is behind this all, you might wonder? Well, according to William Lee, NIO's main brand, NIO, is planning to take a step up in pricing and positioning, creating some blue skies between itself and the Alps brand. It's a chess game of marketing, positioning, and Lee seems to be making some bold moves. So what's my take on all this, you ask? Well, it's like watching a gripping race kind of unfold in front of our faces. NIO's revving its engines and it's ready to go head to head with the big players in this arena, Tesla. With promises of innovation and competitive pricing, it's setting itself up for a very competitive showdown. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast. Today we have another Elon story regarding a juicy lawsuit between Elon and his recent acquisition, X. According to a complaint filed by California's Northern District, these ex-Twitter big shots, including Parag Agrawal and some other high-ranking officers, claim that after Musk went to purchase Twitter, he's going on a full-blown revenge spree. Yeah, you heard that right, folks. Revenge. Allegedly, Musk has been playing hardball, refusing to honor contractual commitments and leaving a trail of unpaid bills like a digital desperado. The lawsuit even dropped some spicy quotes from Musk himself, like boasting about hunting down Twitter's execs until kingdom come and scheming to save himself a cool $200 million. Hopefully you guys can smell the drama, because I sure can. But wait, there's more. This legal showdown isn't just a one-off. It's part of a larger saga involving a Delaware case where there's $500 million in unpaid wages to Twitter execs, former Twitter execs. That type of money is hanging in the balance. It's like a financial soap opera, and we're here for every dramatic twist and turn. Well, what's the verdict, you ask? Well, it seems like the ball's in Musk and X Corp's court. But with allegations flying in left and right and no immediate response from their camp, it's anyone's guess how this whole thing could unfold. Stay tuned, folks, because the drama train has just left the station, and Courtside Financial is your ticket to a first-class front row seat. So let's kick things off with a bang, shall we? NIO's Q4 earnings dropped like a surprise album from your favorite artist. Revenue check. It clocked in at a staggering 17.1 billion RMB, surpassing expectations and causing analysts to do a double take. But hold your horses, folks, there's more to the story. While revenue soared, gross margins took a slight hit, falling short of expectations at 7.5%. It's like baking a cake and forgetting the icing. Still tasty, but missing that extra oomph. Nevertheless, NIO managed to beat its own delivery expectations, pumping out 50,045 vehicles in Q4. Talk about revving up engines. But let's crunch the numbers, shall we? Despite the dip in margins, NIO's revenue climbed 6.5% from the previous year, defying gravity like a Tesla Roadster in the space. And if that wasn't impressive enough, NIO's Q4 vehicles deliveries surged 24.95% year over year, leaving competitors in the dust. Now let's shift to the future. What's NIO's guidance for Q1 deliveries? Brace yourselves. They're aiming for 31,000 to 33,000 units, signaling confidence in their production capabilities. It's like predicting the weather in a thunderstorm. Risky, but they're still pulling it off. Wait, there's a twist in the plot. NIO isn't content with dominating the domestic market, they're eyeing global expansion still. It's like a hungry lion searching for its prey. With plans to enter new territories like the UAE, NIO's ambitions are sky high. It's like watching a startup evolve into a global behemoth right before our eyes. It's quite inspiring, to be honest. Now, let's talk innovation, shall we? NIO is doubling down on their battery technology, unveiling the ET9 with a 5C ultra-fast charging battery. They're hitting the nitro button in a drag race, instant acceleration, and leaving competitors in the dust. And here's the kicker, folks. NIO's gearing up to launch its new Alps brand in Q2, which we talked about yesterday, promising high-quality rides at competitive pricing. With plans to challenge Tesla head-on, NIO's playing the long game. Strategic, calculated, and potentially game-changing. So fasten your seatbelts, because the journey with NIO is obviously just getting started. From revenue beats to global expansion and cutting technology, it's a roller coaster ride through the electric avenue. So picture this: museum tours, casual alien encounters, all brought to life by OpenAI's new groundbreaking software, which we talked about already on this channel, Sora. Sora's knocking it out of the parks with their generative AI videos. It's like Hollywood came knocking at OpenAI's door and they answered with a Hollywood blockbuster movie. Now, you might be thinking, how can AI produce such Hollywood level magic? Well, strap in because we're about to take a deep dive into the tech behind it all. You see, Sora isn't just your run-of-the-mill AI, it's a fusion between transformer technologies and image generation models. It's combining the brain of ChatGPT with the soul of a mastermind artist. And let me tell you folks, the results are mind-blowing. From scenes of dogs frolicking in snow to a flyover of a 19th century mining town, Sora's got it all. It's like having a VR headset strapped to your brain without the dizziness. But here's the kicker, folks. Sora isn't just about pretty pictures. It's paving the way for true generative entertainment. We're talking about combining AI models for sound, lip syncing, and even full production platforms. It's like having a whole movie studio at your fingertip, to say the least. Take a look at this, folks. Sora is leading the pack, but the competition isn't far behind. It's like a high-speed race to the future of generative AI entertainment, and we're running along with the tide, making sure that we understand and follow the story as it goes on. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for the future of entertainment? Well, it's a game changer. With Sora leading the charge, we're on the brink of a revolution in how we consume media. Imagine personalized movies tailored to your taste, interactive experiences that blur the line between fantasy and reality, but they're all powered by AI. The possibilities are endless, and Sora once again shows us that it's just in another league from the competition. We'll have to keep on watching to see how things unfold and see just how far this technology goes, and it's also important, like we said in the last video, to consider its implications as well. For years, there's been a buzz around meatless meat, with food tech experts striving to create something that satisfies the most devout carnivores. But now, with the rise of AI and 3D printing, the entire meat industry is even changing. Let's dive into the innovation happening in this space. According to recent reports, one standout in this space is a Spanish company called Cocas, aiming to transform the food industry. But what sets them apart? Well, the CEO said that they're the first company that's managed to do this on an industrial scale, and second of all, their imitation is total. Now, this company isn't alone in this endeavor. Across Europe, America, and even China, a race amongst food tech startups is underway. This includes companies like Redefining Meat, Biflow, Bhex, and Cheyenne Technology, each pushing the boundaries of what's possible with food and technology. But how does 3D printing even work in the realm of food? It's an additive manufacturing process that builds up edible materials layer by layer to get to the end result. Imagine your favorite dish being meticulously crafted by a printer layer by layer. The benefits of 3D printed food are plentiful. Not only does it offer customization to meet specific dietary needs, but it also addresses the issue of food waste by precisely positioning ingredients. Plus, the technology allows for creation of complex textures that can make the dining experience more pleasurable. Yet, like any new technology, 3D printed food faces its own challenges. Cost, taste, and safety considerations are primary concerns. However, companies like Cocos are pushing forward, setting ambitious targets to produce plant-based alternatives on a large scale. The recent addition of 3D printed plant-based bacon is just the beginning. They have plans to expand into vegan tuna and shrimp. Ultimately, they're paving the way for a bright future in 3D printed food. So it's clear that the future of food is also being shaped by innovation, business, and technology. Our next story is more on the business side. The headlines are buzzing with word of Kylie Jenner's latest venture, a canned vodka seltzer called Spritzer. So what's the scoop? Well, according to reports, Kylie Jenner's new drink Spritzer is causing quite the stir. Made with premium vodka, real fruit juice, and sparkling water, it's definitely poised to shake up the market given her celebrity. But what sets Spritzer apart from the competition? According to Kylie herself, Spritzer isn't just another canned cocktail. Bold statement in both tasting and branding. She's tapped into the demand for high quality drinks on the go. and she's confident that Sprinter will deliver. Now, Kylie's journey to becoming a self-made billionaire has been quite the debate, with Forbes even revoking her title. How does this impact her last venture? Well, it's definitely a point of contention. While Kylie's financial status may be up for debate, her business acumen is certainly undeniable. She's proven time and time again that she knows how to turn heads and generate revenue. And let's not forget about the Jenner sisters' foray into spirits. Kendall Jenner's tequila brand 818 has been making waves in the industry. It seems like entrepreneurship just runs in this family. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk availability. When can people get their hands on some of that Sprinter? Mark your calendars, folks, because Sprinter will be nationwide on March 21st, offering a variety pack of cans for $19.99. According to The Verge, Wix has released an AI chatbot that revolutionizes the way that websites are created. This chatbot simplifies the entire process, asking users a few questions, maybe responding to some prompts, and then voila, a website is born. But does it live up to the hype? Well, let's dive into the details. So here's how it works. You click Create with AI, and then you answer a few questions prompted by the website. Simple, right? Well, within seconds, your website is up and ready to go, complete with images and layouts. But hold on. While creating the website is completely free, go test it out for yourself. If you want to add additional features, those come at a cost, like accepting payments or using your own domain name. You're going to need to sign up for Wix premium plans. Now let's talk numbers. Wix offers a range of plans starting from $17 per month, which is the light plan, up to $159 per month, which is the business elite plan. Each set of plans comes with its own features catering to different needs and budgets. But what's really interesting here is that the AI chatbot isn't just a mindless tool. It's powered by advanced algorithms, including Dolla and OpenAI's ChatGPT. These models help in generating content such as text and images. So even if you're not a design expert, you could still create a very visually appealing website using Wix's technology. To put this to the test, the reporter at The Verge actually created a website called The Vorge. However, he says that the results weren't exactly what he had in mind. He said that the website turned their website into a futuristic hair salon, which was an unexpected twist. He said despite the small hiccup, he made some changes to get closer to the look and feel of The Verge. I'll link the website down below in the description so you guys can go check that out. And I'll also link the article that I got my information from to give this person credit. So what's the verdict? Wix AI chatbot works miracles, and it certainly makes building websites more accessible to the masses. Whether you're a small business owner or budding entrepreneur, this technology has the potential to level the playing field. So I actually bought tickets for this next topic today, which is Kanye's listening event in which he's doing all across the country. I bought tickets for the Phoenix area. According to the recent reports, album listening events have become veritable gold mines. For Kanye and Dolla $, they raked in over $12 million as of 4 days ago so far. Yes, you heard that right, $12 million from listening parties, just listening parties alone. The rollout strategy for Vultures 1 has been nothing short of ambitious. From Chicago to New York and across the Atlantic to Milan and Paris. These events have drawn in massive crowds and even bigger profits. Now, let's break down the numbers. Each of the Chicago and New York events reportedly grossed around 2.4 million. And while figures for the European events weren't immediately available, estimations suggest that they pulled in their sum. And I just told you that I bought tickets for the Phoenix event today, so there are tons of other events that probably aren't even calculated yet. But hold on to your seats, everyone, because this is just the beginning. Vultures 1 isn't just making waves in the live event circuits, it's also dominating the charts too. The album debuted #1 on the top 200 Billboard chart, moving a whopping 148,000 units in the first week alone. And guess what? It maintained chart-topping status the following week with an additional 75k units sold. What's more outstanding is that this is just the first installment of the trilogy. That's right, Ye and Ty have more albums coming, not just one more coming, but another 2. It's safe to say these guys aren't just making music, they're crafting a financial empire. So what can we learn from this spectacle? Well, for starters, it's a testament to the power of collaboration. Kanye West and Dolla, 2 titans of the music industry, have joined forces to create something truly monumental. But beyond that, it's a masterclass in strategic marketing and monetization. By turning listening events into must-see experiences and leveraging their star power to drive album sales, Ye and Ty have set a new standard for how musical artists can capitalize on their creations. But of course, it's not just about the money. The success of Vultures 1 speaks to the enduring impact of music as a cultural force. In an age of streaming and digital downloads, the thrill of a live event and the anticipation of a new album release still has its grasp on fans. Imagine this, a former Google AI engineer indicted for sending over Google's secrets to the Chinese. Yes, you heard it right. Linwei Ding, also known as Leon Ding, found himself in the hot seat after being indicted with 4 counts of theft of trade secrets. Picture this, it's a crisp morning in California where federal agents start knocking on your door in Newark. This isn't a friendly visit, it's an arrest. Ding, a 38-year-old Chinese national, had his fingers in Google's intellectual cookie jar, stealing detailed secrets and information about the tech giant's AI infrastructure. Now you might be wondering, why would someone risk it all? Ding was reportedly double dealing, moonlighting for 2 Chinese companies while on Google's payroll. It's a tale as old as time. The lure of greener pastures leading you further and further down a path of deception and fraud. But the plot thickens. Ding didn't stop at mere espionage. Oh no, he had grander plans. According to the indictment, he even went so far to start his own tech company. And he boasted about replicating and even upgrading Google's computational prowess. Talk about ambition. Or not that much of. But hold your horses, because Google wasn't snoozing on the job. In December 2023, they caught wind of Ding's shenanigans, confiscating his laptop just a day before he planned his resignation. Jose Castaneda, a Google spokesperson, didn't mince words, citing the company's swift action to protect its proprietary or intellectual property. Now let's talk consequences. Ding is staring down the barrel of a legal storm currently, facing up to a decade behind bars and hefty fines on each count. It's a reminder that the long arm of justice extends far into the digital realm. As we wrap up, this is a cautionary tale for all aspiring tech entrepreneurs, out there. Innovation is the lifeblood of progress, but it must be nurtured responsibly and ethically. Let's talk numbers, because the dazzling facade lies behind a staggering array of financial figures that might leave you speechless, which is probably why a lot of people don't know about this. And I just found out about it today just doing some research. According to data compiled by WalletHub, the 2024 Academy Awards ceremony is slated to cost a whopping $56.9 million. That's right, you heard me correctly, $56.9 million. Just to put on the show. But wait, there's more. Have you ever wondered what it takes to dress an A-list actor for the show? Brace yourselves, because the price tag is a staggering $10 million. That's not a typo. $10 million just to complete the look. From designer gowns to jaw-dropping jewelry, no expense is spared when it comes to completing these looks and making a splash on the red carpet. And let's not forget about the iconic golden statues. Each gold-plated Oscar award costs a cool $400, which is quite the price for a piece of Hollywood history. But hey, when you're handing out awards to the best of the best, nothing but the finest will do. Now let's talk parties. No Oscar awards would be complete without the legendary Vanity Fair party that they have annually. But gaining entry into this event will cost you a cool $100K per couple. That's right, $100K just to rub shoulders with Hollywood's elite. And if you thought the swag bags at your average event were impressive, well, think again. The Oscar goodie bags are worth $125,000 each. From luxury getaways to top-of-the-line skincare products, these bags are the epitome of Hollywood access. But perhaps the most eye-popping figure of them all, estimated cost of streaming one film for voters to judge. Believe it or not, folks, it comes in at a whopping $20,000 per film. It's a hefty price to pay for one shot at Oscar glory. There you have it, folks, a glimpse into the staggering financial piece of the Academy Awards. From multi-million-dollar dresses to golden statues, the Oscars are definitely a sight to behold. Join us next time for more insights into the world of business and technology. Sometimes we talk about these things mutually exclusive, like we're doing right now. We're just talking about the business of the Oscars. So today it seems like Apple delivered a knockout blow to Epic Games, terminating their developer account. But why? Let's dive into the details. Just last month, Epic Games celebrated the approval of their developer account with Apple, and it seemed like the first steps into bringing Fortnite back into the iOS ecosystem. But alas, their joy was short-lived as Apple quickly turned the tables. They said that Epic Games had allegedly violated their developer agreement. According to Epic, this move isn't just about enforcing the rules, it's about Apple wanting to eliminate competition. Epic accuses Apple of squashing potential rivals to maintain dominance within their Apple ecosystem. It's a classic case of David versus Goliath, but with billions of dollars on the line. And the drama doesn't even end there. Epic claims that Apple's decision stems from criticism of Apple's proposed Digital Markets Act, DMA. But Apple fires back, accusing Epic of previous breaches, questioning their trustworthiness. Now you might be wondering why all this fuss. Well, it's not just about Fortnite. This showdown has far-reaching implications for the future of app development and competition in the tech industry. Apple's termination of Epic's developer account sends a clear message to other developers: toe the line or face consequences. It's a stark reminder of the power dynamics at play in the digital world. But let's not forget, this isn't just a clash between two corporate giants. It's a story about innovation, regulation, and the ever-evolving landscape of technology. It's a story about innovation, regulation, and the ever-evolving landscape of technology. NIO lost a whopping 20 billion yuan. That's no small change, folks, but however, despite this staggering deficit, the stock price decided to take the high road. Why, you ask? Well, buckle up, because there's more to the story than meets the eye. NIO's revenue hit record highs, but so did their losses. This paradox could leave anybody scratching their head. But fear not, dear listeners, we have the answers. A future product slated for release in the next 6 months injected some hope into the markets. And let's not forget about NIO's ambitious plan for expansion. Now let's rewind to 2023. CEO and co-founder William Li announced a 10% layoff. This sent shockwaves throughout the industry, not just the company. Rumors swirled around about NIO's financial woes and were confirmed with the release of their Q4 earnings. Despite delivering over 50,000 vehicles in Q4 and revenue soaring to record highs, NIO's losses soared to unprecedented losses, a staggering 20 billion yuan, of course. Let me throw that in there so you don't get it confused with dollars. But wait, there's more. Li Bin dropped a bombshell during the earnings call, unveiling the plans for NIO's second brand, codenamed Alps. The new contender is set to take on the Tesla Model Y, promising affordability without sacrificing on quality. Does Tesla have something to be afraid about here? So can Alps turn the tide for NIO? Only time will tell. If we rewind to when the Alps brand was first announced, I actually said Alps might be the thing that saves this company, and I'm an investor in the company, so for me to say that was something that probably shouldn't be taken lightly. I don't know, I'm no expert. Despite falling short of their delivery targets and facing fierce competition in the Chinese electric vehicle market, NIO seems to be standing tall. They vowed not to engage in price wars, even though they technically kind of did, and they're focusing on quality and innovation. But with Li Auto and other hot EV makers on their heels, from an innovation perspective, we all know Li Auto selling more than NIO right now. That's just a fact. Can they stay ahead of the curve? Li Bin's strategy is clear: double down on user experience and cost control, with plans to build over 10,000 battery swap stations and continue expanding their sales network. NIO's gearing up for a showdown with titans of the industry. But will their gamble pay off? Stay tuned to find out. What's the latest, you ask? It seems like the Tesla factory Giga Berlin has been facing some drama. According to recent reports, the Tesla factory over there had to halt operations due to an arson attack, which left the facility without power. Can you believe that? First off, the selected arson attack caused a shutdown in electricity supply, leading to a halt in production. This incident is estimated to cause a significant loss totaling to hundreds of millions of euros for Tesla. And get this, folks, 1,000 vehicles were left unfinished on Tuesday alone. Now, who's responsible for this? Well, local media published a letter allegedly from a far-left activist organization called the Volcano Group. These guys claimed responsibility for the incident. It's quite the bold move, isn't it? And of course, Elon, never one to shy away from expressing his thoughts, called the attack extremely dumb. He expressed his frustration, stating that halting production of electric vehicles instead of fossil fuel vehicles is not the way to go. And honestly, I have to agree with him. This was extremely dumb. Now, this isn't the first time Tesla faced challenges in Europe. From union pressures to supply disruptions, it's been quite the bumpy ride for them. But this suspected attack, it's on a whole new level. It's definitely concerning for Tesla. Not only does this halt in production affect their bottom line, but it raises question about security and stability in their European pursuits. Plus, with Tesla's plan to expand production capacity at Giga Berlin, incidents like these only hinder the growth in this region. It's a reminder that even the biggest players in the industry aren't shielded from unforeseen circumstances. Different tech companies have been making some bold moves lately, each with their own unique strategies and goals. Let's start with Xiaomi, known for its immense product lineup and commitment to creating a seamless ecosystem. They recently announced their foray into electric vehicle manufacturing. Now, why would a mobile phone giant like Xiaomi want to build cars? It's a question that's on many people's minds. Xiaomi's founder and CEO has declared this project as his last major entrepreneurial project. A bold statement indeed, but Xiaomi sees the smart car venture as something that's integral to the future of their business. With smartphones reaching a saturation point in the market, Xiaomi figures it has to diversify and kind of not pivot, that's always going to be like their core competency, but expand. And what better way than to leverage their existing technology and user ecosystem that they created. Xiaomi's strategy isn't just about building cars, it's about redefining the concept of smart mobility. They're focusing on R&D, prioritizing the user-centric approach, as well as an internet-centric approach. This isn't about making a quick buck for them, it's about revolutionizing the way that we think about transportation, they say. Meanwhile, NIO, a company synonymous with smart travel, is taking a different route. And y'all know that we're NIO investors here. Or I am, at least. I won't speak for everyone else, but I'm a fan of the company. They've ventured into the smartphone market with the release of the NIO phone. For them, it's about enhancing their smart travel ecosystem and providing users with a seamless experience from their cars to their phones. We know that NIO's approach is all about putting the user first. Their smartphones are exclusively available to NIO car owners, integrating seamlessly with their vehicles and providing a value add through their innovative features. It's a bold move that reflects NIO's commitment to customer satisfaction. Meanwhile, Huawei, a powerhouse in the tech world, is taking a different approach. While they're not building cars themselves, they're empowering car companies through their smart selection business. It's a strategic move that capitalizes on Huawei's strengths in technology without the risk associated with car manufacturing. This was what I was talking about with Apple. This was the approach that I think that Apple is going to take more so into the future, so that they're not burning too much cash because the car industry is capital intensive. And let's not forget about Geely, who shook things up by acquiring Meizu, a mobile phone company. This move isn't just about building a better in-car system, it's about tapping into Meizu's technology so that they can make or redefine their own products. Meizu has expertise in user habits and and interactive experiences, so this can help make the driving experience better for the end user. The cross-border innovations are reshaping the automotive and mobile phone industries, each driven by unique visions and goals. It's not a one-size-fits-all for every company. From Xiaomi's quest to complete their smart ecosystem to NIO's goal of ultimately enhancing the travel experience, these strategies reflect the ever-evolving landscape of business and technology. As we look into the future, we can expect more groundbreaking developments from these tech giants, whether it's reimagining transportation or revolutionizing user experiences. The possibilities are quite endless. Business Insider published an article on Apple's movie endeavors. It turns out despite lackluster box office performances, it turns out that Apple's movies are profitable. Quite a head scratcher, isn't it? According to the article, Apple's cinematic ventures, including Napoleon, Killers of Flower Moon, and Argylle, failed to make a significant impact at the box office, collectively generating $466 million worldwide. However, the cost of production exceeded $700 million. Now, those numbers don't quite add up conventionally, so how is Apple's cinematic business profitable? Killers of the Moon was a lengthy historical drama, Argylle was a high-budget James Bond spoof, and so these films were destined for a tough ride at the box office from the get-go. But here's the twist. Apple insists that despite the apparent losses, these films are profitable, and this is due to what they term as ancillary revenue streams. It's a curious insertion indeed, with Napoleon and Killers of the Moon costing over $200 million each to make, and obviously earning significantly less in ticket sales. One wonders where these profits are coming from. There are no action figures or fast food tie-ins to boost revenue with Apple TV Plus. And guess what? That's the primary distribution platform. Traditional platforms like video on demand might not cover shortfall. So it seems like Apple is banking on the broader marketing value that these films provide for the platform. That's as opposed to direct revenue or streaming. But does this approach align with standard accounting practices? Very questionable, to say the least. And let's not forget the bigger picture. Why is Apple investing in movies and TV shows in the first place? One could argue it's to bolster Apple TV Plus subscriptions amidst a traditional landscape where iPhone sales are plateauing. However, with services primarily driven by in-app purchases and partnerships with the one like Google, the direct financial impact of Apple TV Plus remains modest compared to Apple's other revenue streams. Precisely why Apple TV Plus has shown growth. They have about 18 million subscribers in the US alone, which is still a fraction of the subscriber base that Netflix has. So the question remains, is Apple's investment into content truly about driving revenue directly, I'll say? Or is it a strategic move to diversify and maintain a competitive edge? Ultimately, whether these films are profitable or not in the traditional sense, one thing's for sure. Apple has the financial clout to continue producing content, regardless of how it's defined. And as consumers, we can only hope for more engaging stories from one of the world's largest tech companies. Picture this, Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned boxer, is facing off with the legendary Mike Tyson. That's right, folks, announcements have been hitting social media and hitting the news today. Netflix is going to actually be live streaming this entire event on their platform. The Epic Showdown is going to take place July 20th at the AT&T Stadium, and this move underscores ambitions not to just dominate in the realm of movies and TV shows, but to also venture into the live sports business and kind of potentially take over there. Partnering with Paul and Nikisa Badarian's most valuable promotions, Netflix is pulling out all the stops to bring this event to your screens. And this isn't even their first rodeo in the sports arena. Remember the Netflix Slam, Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz? Or the Netflix Cup for golf aficionados? Netflix is leaving no stone unturned in its quest for entertainment supremacy. Now, while the prospect of Paul versus Tyson definitely does spark some excitement and some interest and curiosity, it does open up a can of worms of questions. One of those questions being, does Paul even belong in the ring with Mike Tyson? Calvin Watkins from the Dallas Morning News raises a great point. Paul, despite his efforts, is still striving for legitimacy in the world of boxing. Facing off with Mike Tyson, who will be 58 at the time of the fight, doesn't really help his case. But let's not underestimate the spectacle, ladies and gentlemen. Tyson's return to the ring against a social media sensation like Jake Paul, that's unprecedented. It's a clash of generations and a collision of worlds. Beyond entertainment value, there's practical considerations as well. Regulatory bodies like the Texas Department of Licensing will likely scrutinize this event for safety concern. Will it be classified as a professional fight or an exhibition? That remains to be seen. Yet, amidst all these uncertainties, it's very clear, abundantly clear, that Netflix move into live sports is undoubtedly a game changer. By streaming the Paul versus Tyson fight, Netflix is competing with traditional broadcasters. They're rewriting the rules of the game. So as we await the brawl between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, let's marvel at the audacity of Netflix. Let's celebrate their boundary-pushing spirit, innovation in the world of entertainment. So on March 5th, NIO unveiled its fourth quarter and full year for 2023 earnings report. The numbers were eye-catching, with revenue surging 12.9% year over year. It reached 55.62 billion yuan, but at the same time, the losses increased as well. Losses increased to 20.72 billion yuan. But amidst these figures lies a deeper story, one that unveils the intricate dance between striving for market perseverance while balancing the intricate dance between cash reserves, losses, and the pursuit of market dominance. In the ever-evolving world of electric vehicles, NIO has been a consistent player. Yet often it faces its fair share of criticism, with questions swirling around about its financial longevity. But fear not, dear listeners, NIO's bank account is far from empty. With cash reserves of 57.3 billion yuan, NIO has enough cash to make it until October 2025. And that's even if the losses keep mounting at a 43.5% year-over-year clip. Now let's dissect the battlefield. In the midst of what can only be described as the new energy vehicle price war, NIO stands firm, refusing to join the fray. While competitors continue to slash their prices left and right, NIO standing on a strategic position of delivering value over racing to the bottom. Now what about the competition? Li Auto boasts a cash reserve of 103.67 billion yuan, while Tesla boasts a track record of longer profitability. Xpeng is lagging behind NIO in reserves, however they're managing to keep their losses at bay. The battlefield where each opponent wields its own set of weapons, from the hefty chest of traditional giants to the nimble strategies of these upcoming EV makers. As NIO navigates these turbulent waters, questions arise about its arsenal for the future. There's an introduction of the sub-brands Alpine and Firefly. These are both hinting at a broader market strategy. And that strategy is being able to keep the premium brand while expanding with the sub-brand into different market segments, being able to reach more customers and serve more users, and ultimately reaching scale, which is going to bring costs down for NIO if they're able to succeed. NIO's poised to capture a broader audience without compromising its premium image. But amidst the fog of war lies a beacon of efficiency. NIO's journey to profitability hinges on its ability to streamline operations and rein in costs. From R&D investments to service centers, every move has to be scrutinized for its contribution to the bottom line. With a keen eye on efficiency, NIO aims to turn its losses into profits one day, paving the way for continued success in the electric vehicle arena. And there you have it, folks. NIO's journey is one of strategy, determination, and unwavering resilience. As the market evolves, NIO stands poised to weather the storm and emerge stronger than ever. Picture this, where AGI reigns supreme, artificial general intelligence. Altman isn't just dreaming, he's actively shaping it. His empire spans scalable nuclear fusion, a $7 trillion chip revolution, and ventures into extending human lifespan. It's like watching Elon Musk's vision unfold, but with a twist. Now let's talk energy. AGI demands power and Altman knows it. He's betting big on nuclear fusion, betting on a world where fusion generators churn out like clockwork. It's not just about making money, it's about powering the future of humanity. But Altman's ambitions don't even stop there. Definitely don't stop there. He's betting big on the building blocks of technology, which are chips. He envisions a world where chips are as ubiquitous as air and water, and they know no limitations as far as computing power. And that's just the beginning. Altman is venturing into the realm of immortality research. He believes that AGI holds the keys to unlocking longer, healthier lives for humanity. It's bold, it's audacious, and quintessentially, it's Altman. Yet, amidst all this, there's whispers of discontent brewing inside of OpenAI's boardroom. Enter the enigmatic figure known as the mother of ChatGPT, Mira Murati. She's not afraid to challenge Altman's leadership, oftentimes questioning his motives and methods with a keen eye for detail. It's a clash of titans, and the repercussions could reshape the very fabric of Altman's empire. And there you have it, folks, a quick bit on the saga of Sam Altman's empire. So Epic Games, the powerhouse behind the popular video game Fortnite, has been locked in a tussle with tech titan Apple. But just when we thought we had seen it all the other day, a new chapter has unfolded. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney has recently revealed that his developer account has been reinstated by Apple, thanks to what he described as a swift inquiry from the European Commission. Yes, you heard that right. Epic Games is once again poised to launch its app Fortnite in the iOS App Store in the European Union. This marks a significant win for the gaming giant. But how did we arrive at this point? Let's rewind a bit. A bit earlier in the week, Apple shocked the world by revoking Epic Games' developer license. The reason? Well, it all stems from criticisms leveled by Tim Sweeney. Apple proposed the Digital Markets Act, which he labeled as hot garbage. However, in a surprising turn of events, Apple backtracked on the decision that they made earlier this week, seemingly following pressure from the European Commission. This means Epic Games is back in business, with plans to launch the Epic Games Store and bring Fortnite back to iOS in Europe. But what does this mean for the broader landscape, you might wonder? Because in the last episode, we talked about this decision, and why Apple is really hard on it is because it's what we do now is going to affect future situations. So they wanted to send a message of toe the line or remove yourselves, or we're going to remove you from our store. You have to play by our rules. Well, today's news underlines the increased scrutiny that tech giants like Apple face from regulatory bodies, particularly in Europe. The DMA, which recently came into effect by allowing third-party app stores and alternative payment methods on iOS devices. And with Epic Games' developer license reinstated, clear that winds of change are blowing through the industry. But the story, as we know, doesn't end here. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this saga unfolds. That's going to be it for this episode of Week in Recap for the Courtside Financial Podcast. If you found any of this information valuable, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and definitely leave a comment down below. Genuinely interested in hearing what you guys think about these new this new style of videos that we're doing. Anyways, that's going to be it. I'll catch you guys next time.